All right, so there's some breaking news. A new citizenship by investment program. This is why you subscribe to this channel. As soon as there's an update, you're the first one to get notified. So this is after Nauru. Till yesterday, Nauru was the latest CBI program and the pricing was 105 plus fees, which made it 140. Now, as of today, the latest citizenship by investment program is Sierra Leone, and I'm going to discuss the specifics. What does the visa-free access look like? What is the price point? Does this make sense? Who this is for potentially? And should you even take this one seriously? Am I satisfied with this program? Am I dissatisfied with this program? So I'm going to discuss a lot of my analysis in this video. So let's look at the country. It's, in my opinion, it's a poor country. It's a third world emerging or developing or whatever you may call it. It's the infrastructure is really poor. For a wealthy individual, are you seriously going to go and live in that country? No, it's mostly for collection purposes. You have access to an African market, a jurisdiction. Maybe you want to park some wealth over there. Theoretically or technically, that makes sense. But practically, are you really going to feel safe keeping your assets in this nation? That's a big question mark. I personally don't think I would feel extremely safe. So again, depends where you're investing, who you're investing with, but generally speaking, they're the markets that I'll feel more safer keeping my assets. Now, before we discuss a lot of the other things, let me first quickly discuss the price point. So the price point for this program is 140k USD. So it's at the same price point as Vanuatu. Okay, Vanuatu is 150-ish, right? If once you start putting together everything, the second one at the similar price point at 140k is Nauru. Now this one is at 140, so it directly competes, at least on the pricing aspect, with those two programs. How does the visa free look like? It's one of the poorest passports that you can obtain. It has visa free to 66 countries. It does touch some Latin America, but all the meaningful access is missing, right? So what's missing? Argentina is missing, Brazil is missing, Peru is missing. So a lot of the important Latin American access is missing. It does have some other access. The kind of visa free that you get isn't the worst because it does have some meaningful access, but a lot of the important ones, the basic ones that you would expect, are missing from this passport. Now, Sierra Leone did create some headlines with its PR for gold program, right? You invest 1 kilograms of gold in the country, keep it in a safe deposit wallet, keep it with them, and then you immediately qualified for permanent residency. But that had a catch. It had a fee, the basic starting point of $65,000. In my opinion, that didn't make much sense. Okay, you keep the 1 kg for a PR. That made sense. But then on top of that, donating $65,000 didn't make much sense. Now, does this citizenship or this passport make any sense at 140? I think it's extremely expensive. Even at 100k, I mean, not too long ago, St. Lucia citizenship investment was at 100k, and that was a popular program, of course, but that gave you UK, it gave you EU, it gave you all the access, the meaningful access that you want. Of course, it's all missing the US or the Australia and all of the main countries, but then because it gave you UK and Europe, you really had some meaningful use case for that theoretically at that point in time, right? Practically, when you're traveling with such passports, you always have to be careful, right? But with Sierra Leone, you're not getting Europe, you're not getting UK, you're really not getting half of Latin America. And then there's some other deficiencies in the access. So when you're paying 140k for a Sierra Leone passport, what are you really paying for? What is the value proposition of this? I think the only pitch point is you get access to Africa, you get access to a place where you can store gold, or you can use that as a playing ground, or let's say you're trying to get away, or you're trying to establish something really, truly exotic in a very different market. Then for those type of people, this might be something to think about. But overall, for the masses, for a lot of you guys watching, in my opinion, I don't think this program makes a lot of sense. Far better programs than this one are, let's say, I would say even Vanuatu. Vanuatu is not far better. It's sort of slightly better than this one. Nauru is better than that, because with Nauru, at least you're getting UK and Ireland. So if you want to establish those residencies, you initially want a visa-free access to enter and then convert, or have a better chances of converting, then Nauru passport would be better as compared to the Sierra Leone passport. I think, in my opinion, and this is not immigration advice, but in my opinion, this is the worst CBI deal till date. The real, or the actual price point of this passport should have been $75,000, or let's say $65,000 to $70,000. If that was the price point for this program, then a lot of people would have thought about this seriously, would have even done this program just for the heck of it, just for collecting another passport. 65 or $70,000 max is sounds okay, but $140,000 for this type of an access would not make much sense for a lot of people, in my opinion. Now, in real terms, what can this passport be compared to? I think this passport can directly be compared to the passport of Egypt. I think they have similar access, similar deficiencies in the two passports. Now, what's the price point of Egypt? Is 300K in real estate investment. Now, think about losing half the money in, let's say, the different costs, right? So there's program cost, there's due diligence fees, there's agency cost. Those, just the fees itself could be around $20,000 to $25,000. So that's a sunk cost there. And then you're tying up 300K in a property. Who knows what happens with the new capital? Let's say you purchase a couple of apartments. Let's say you lose half the money. You get back 140, 150K of whatever you put in Egypt. So you're looking at around 150, 160K of cost over there, plus the hassle of going through the whole thing. So you compare that with this Sierra Leone passport for 140 out of pocket. So when you compare the two, the cost is similar. Of course, you're going to avoid the hassle of dealing with real estate in case of Sierra Leone passport. The Egypt one would still slightly make more sense, is because at least you could travel there and live there. What are the chances of you actually traveling and living in Sierra Leone? So you may go there for a day at most, but when it comes to physically spending any time there or setting up some sort of a base, I think Egypt is far better than Sierra Leone to set up shop. In that sense, although at the same price, although there's more hassle with Egypt, that's a slightly better program than this one. This truly feels like one of the worst CBI investments. Now, Sierra Leone also had a free program for Africans, especially if they did the DNA check from ancestry.com, and they found out that they had some traces of Sierra Leone. They were people of Sierra Leone origin. Then they had a free access to the same program, but now they're trying to monetize that one. Right now they have a second feature here in this program, that if you're an African descent, you do the DNA. Don't need to be people of Sierra Leone, right? You just could be an African. So the price will be slashed by $40,000. At $100,000 you can then avail, and these are approximate numbers, right? At $100,000 you could qualify for the exact same program. Does this make sense for African people? In my opinion, no, it does not make any sense for African people, because at 100K, then you could have gotten St. Lucia not too long ago. A lot of people, that whoever wanted those passports, they did it. So at 100K, something like a St. Lucia makes a lot of sense. But at 140K, at the same price point, it would not make sense, even for people of African origin. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Would you consider this? What are the strengths? Do you think this is a meaningful program? Do you think the price point is correct? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. It'll be interesting to read. And before you go, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the latest developments. If there's any nuances to this program, I'll be covering it on this channel. So if you're subscribed, you will be the first one to be notified. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and catch you in the next one.